Hi, I'm Maggie from maggiescrochet.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this elegant scarf using Premier Yarn's Hipster and Enchant together. So the colors I chose for this scarf is the Hipster in Flamingo and Enchant in the color Jewelry Box. So this is a great beginner project. It's a simple shell pattern and then you fringe it at the end. Other colors that would look good with the jewelry box, or there's another one that's all silver and that's called, I believe it's Disco. With the silver, I think that this color would look good, which is Peacock, or this color, which is called Veranda. I think either one of those would look great with the silver. So to add some variety here, look how that metallic shows up. I wore this to a dinner party the other night and I had all black on, and then I had this this with it, and it just totally popped out. It looks so nice. And this Hipster yarn is really nice because it's like velvety. It's like chenille, so it's a really nice yarn to work with. So the color combination I thought would look good together is this one called Foliage, and then the gold tones, and this one's called Spun Gold, and then this one is called Grand Bazaar. So those are the two that I want to put together for my sample here in the video. So I've lined up one strand of Hipster next to one strand of Enchant, and I just threw out, I work as if it's one strand of yarn, even though it's two. So I start with a long end on my slip knot, and at this point right here, I make a loop, and then the top strand folds over the back, and it looks kind of like a pretzel there. And then I'm going to draw both strands forward out of that circle, and you'll notice there's a slip side, which is right here, and a knot side, and I'm going to tighten the knot side like that. And then I'm going to pull on the slip side, and you want that rather loose because of the sequins. They can get stuck in your little knot there. It's not a problem once you get past your slip knot. Like in your stitches, it doesn't create a problem. So right there is how loose I want it to be. I could pull a little bit tighter, but it should slide like that. So I'm using a J hook, and in the beginning it says to chain 20. Okay, so there's my foundation chain of 20 chains. Now it says to single crochet in the second chain from hook. Let me see if I have a little pointer here. Okay, this is my first chain from hook right here, and there is my second chain from hook. And I am just going to go in the top strand of that single crochet, of that chain, and work a single crochet. So I just insert my hook in there, drop a loop, and then finish a single crochet. Now I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to skip 2 chains, and I'm going to work a shell of 5 double crochets into the next chain. So there's my 5, and you may want to just tug on this a little bit to stretch it back into place. Then you skip these 2 chains and you single crochet in the next chain. And then you skip 2 chains and you shell in the next chain. So each repeat is a multiple of 6 chains that you're using up. There's 4, 5, and there's 6. I need 5. Okay, so there's my shell there. So now I have 2 shells. I'm going to land up with 3 when I'm done. So I'm going to skip these 2 chains and I'm going to work a single crochet in this chain. Then I'm going to skip 2 chains again and work a shell in the next one. So I'm working all 5 double crochet stitches into the same chain to create a shell. So right there I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at the very end you should have 3 chains left, and you skip 2 chains and you single crochet in the last chain. If you don't have that number, you can fudge it in, or you could, since it's just row 1, you could just go back. So now you chain 3 and turn. This is the end of row 1, and that's what it looks like. That copper color is so beautiful in there. Okay, so then you just chain 3 and you turn your work like the page of a book, like that. And then you're going to work a half shell on this, on the start of this row. A half shell is, this counts as 1 double right here, and you're going to work 2 more doubles. So a half shell is 3 doubles. So there's your half shell right there. Now I'm going to skip the 2 double crochets of the shell from the previous row, and I'm going to work a single crochet into the center double crochet of the 5 double crochet group, just like that. Then I'm going to work a shell into the next single crochet. This is a great beginner project, especially if you use these yarns. Everybody's going to think you're a pro right out of the gate. So I'm just working 5 doubles into the single, like that. And then I'm working a single in the center double crochet of the 5 double crochet shell. Then I'm working a shell in the single. Like that. And then I'm going to single in the center double crochet, and then on the end here I'm going to work 3 double crochets in the turning chain. So here, no, I'm working 3 double crochets into the first single of the previous row of row 1. So it's a half shell. Okay. All right. So look how beautiful that is. Oh, I love it. Okay, now chain 1 turn, and on the outside edges of this row, you're going to have the single crochet stitches. So you just single in that first double crochet like that, and then you shell in the single. And then you single in the center double crochet of the next shell. And then you shell in the single. Single in the shell, shell in the single, okay, and then at the end of the row this is row 3, and you single crochet in the top of the turning chain 3. So what that means is you could count like 1, 2, 3. I like to look at it like I know that this is the third double on the other side and this was the second. So that little chain right next to this one is the one I need to work into, like that. So it should look nice and even along the side here. So that's it for this pattern, believe it or not. And so now I would go back to chain 3 turn and work the half shells on the side of the row, and then go back to this row here. And I think I would recommend that you, this will be pattern rows 1 and 2. And I think you should end on a row that has the single crochets on both sides. So now I will show you how to create the fringe. So when you get ready to finish off, your last single crochet is here. So you would just go like this and tighten the back side here. And then cut this rather long because you won't have to sew any ends in on this project because you can feed this into your fringe. So how easy is that? So that's my little sample here. So let me show you how to create some fringe real quick. There are fringe and tassel making tools which we carry at maggiescrochet.com. But I just grabbed a piece of paper and I folded it in 4s. So I folded it in half like this. This is just 8.5 by 11 paper. And then I folded it again. And then I would just wind this around. You could also get a piece of cardboard. So this is going to be the length of my fringe. So what is that? I think 5.5 inches. So I'm going to wind it really loose around here. I'm going to use both strands at the same time. Just like that. Okay. And then I started down here, so I'm going to end off down here. And then this is the side that I'm going to cut right here. Okay, so now I've got several strands for my fringe. I'm going to lay them all out nice and even. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love this. Okay, so on this pink scarf, we held, as you can see here, if you split out the metallic from the chenille, we have 2, 4, 6, 8 strands. So that means we used 4 of each type of yarn. So all you do here is pick up 4 strands. So there's 2, 3, 4. So I'm picking it up in sets of 2, like 1 of each type of yarn strand. So now I've got 8 strands, and 4 are the metallic and 4 are the regular yarn. So I'm going to fold these in half, and then I'll go to my scarf like this. This is the starting chain right down here. I'm going to take my crochet hook and I'm going to insert it from the back to the front like this. I can go in the chains, or I can just go in where the single crochet stitches are, or the skip chains are. So it all depends on how full you want your fringe to be. But I hold the folded end over my hook like this, and I'm grabbing a hold of all the strands so that they don't come unfolded. So I've inserted my hook from the back to the front. I'm going to grab that fold and I'm going to bring it through my stitch there, and then I'm going to wrap all 8 strands over my hook like this, and I'm going to pull the fold over all those strands. Then I'm going to pull all the strands out like this. Now I do have an end here with these 2 strands, and before I tighten my little knot here, I'm just going to reach back into the knot. I'm going to yarn over with those 2 strands and bring that through the little fringe. So now I can just pull this a little snug like that, and that's how I create the fringe. And then in the end, when you get them all done, you just lay them across and then trim the bottoms. So I'll do one more to show you. And this scarf, our sample scarf, you see how it has just 7 fringes across the bottom. So you could decide to put more or less or whatever you want to do. But this adds a lot to it. When you're wearing it, this is really a neat feature to this scarf. So one more time, my strands got a little mixed up here. So I'm just going to take all of these. I think it actually landed up being the 8. And if you have some that are super long like this, see what I have here? You may want to take them out and just realign them on your hand so that the ends are even. Okay, so I'm going to take this out like that. So now my ends are kind of all the same. So I'm going to bring the cut ends together. That leaves me with a folded end at the top. And then if I were going into this stitch up here, let's say, I'd want to make sure I get one in the corner. So I'd go into the, let's say this is my final round up here. So I would just go from the back to the front, pick up the fold, bring that through like this, and then I'm going to yarn over with all these strands, and then I can pick up my finished off strands right here. So all of that, and if you want to, you could use a bigger crochet hook too. So yarn over with all of that, and then just open this loop up so that all of these strands fit through, and then bring it all through like that. So that's that. So that's how you make this beautiful hipster enchant scarf. And this is great for Valentine's Day, for any holiday, for anything. And it's good for any season because it just has a really soft feel, like it's cotton, and it looks really, it doesn't have like a wool look to it or anything. It's a very clean look, like cotton or something like that. So I really like it for everything. So this is actually the right side. Your little knobs here should show up on the right side if you do your fringe right. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and be sure to subscribe to our channel. And this video is part of our channel, and we have over 600 videos. And I would love for you to watch all of them and to subscribe to our channel and visit our store at maggiescrochet.com. And we sell all this yarn there and the hooks and everything like that. So enjoy your crochet journey.